Morning, good morning, Bix Weir, Roota.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. A lot of people saying, "Oh my God, did you see the bailout today?" I did, and what do I think about it? It's normal for where we were yesterday. It looks different because we had one repo that was expiring, a $30 billion repo, and then the replacement repo for that. Obviously, you needed a replacement. They needed more, and they needed a lot more. So we're looking at a $60 billion repo for a 4-day repo. I mean, they are literally scraping along. The total overnight now went from 237 billion to 243 billion. That's before the reverse repo. So it's a little jump. Well, obviously, it's gigantic. 240 billion was needed today to keep the banks solvent. And I'll get to that in a second. But if you look at the wait a minute, hang on here. Hold on. We got an interesting little thing. Okay, gotcha. It says 4-day repo because, oh, that's reversed. Okay, it's the 3-day weekend on Monday. So, yes, it is a monster overnight repo, $61.55 billion on the overnight, which is a 4-day repo because it goes till Tuesday. But also, we have another 21 billion to take out the 30 billion. So they're playing games. They're playing games with the repo. Overall is what matters. It went from 237 to 243 today. They needed 243 billion to last the weekend. So it is ridiculous what's going on. It is crazy, but it is 100% predicted on the road to Roota. This is what happened in 2008, except it was all concentrated in one on September 11th, and then the bailout over the next few days. Then it got into the stock market crashing after, QE 1, 2, 3, all that stuff happened. Then the bailout. That's what's happening. We are going to hit a moment in time where they have to go to Congress and say, "Give us $20 trillion." And I think that is the moment where we can stand up and say no. Congress, if you watch the impeachment proceedings, Congress ain't going to agree on anything. It is now found out that the whistleblower works for Biden, works still for Biden. Yes, me. But absolutely worked for Biden and Obama. This gets back to Obama too and the Clintons. The largest donor of the Clinton Foundation is the Ukraine. This is all unraveling, and if the Democrats allow a vote, it would mean full investigation. It's fully being investigated now. The idea, the reason they brought the impeachment charges was they knew that Trump and his guys were investigating the Ukraine and all the criminality went on there. Now I hear there's nuclear secrets and actual hardware that was being transferred out of there, like mini nukes. It is bad. It is bad. These people are the biggest treasonous criminals you have ever seen in your life, including Joe Biden, the useful idiot, and his son Hunter Biden, even more useless idiot. Hunter Biden is in hiding now, is what I hear, and Trump's calling him out. He wants T-shirts made. Says, "Where's Hunter?" Hunter's a freaking idiot. The guy's got about a half a pea for a brain. But yeah, we will see where this goes. It's getting ugly. As far as this weekend, Clif put out a little tweet. It talks about what he sees the data going on for the next couple months, which is really interesting. He's obviously talking about Corey Good in the beginning, but he says from November 11th through November 30th, there'll be building tension period as found that resistance is useless. That's what, when it's in quotes, that's what's in the data. Resistance is useless. From Halloween through the 19th, active shit phase. So if you're looking for a banker crash, look towards 1031 to 1119. That just happens to be the end of the announced long-term repo. So maybe that's when they go into, QE1, QE2. Who knows? And then from 11:20 to 12:08, the reeling phase, which would be post crash. What the hell do we do? That's my take. That's my analysis of Clif's tweet. And here's something really big. WeWork could run out of cash by the next month, seeks immediate bailout. It's a unicorn startup. This could be the Lehman of our new crash, because WeWork was 100% financed by the criminal banksters. JP Morgan took the lead on this. Jamie Dimon's best buddy was running this company. They were talking about hiring Jamie Dimon to take over the whole company and have Jamie Dimon leave JP Morgan. Investment banks behind WeWork are panicking, as it seems a bailout of the company could be imminent. Sources told FT that fundraising efforts are currently underway as the company's cash is about to be depleted. We noted last month that the company lost $690 million in the first 6 months of the year and is expected to generate a loss from operations approaching $3 billion with a B, as it burns through tens of millions in cash daily. Analysts estimate that the company could run out of money by mid-2020. And now Bloomberg is reporting that WeWork's cash crunch is even more acute. From Bloomberg, analysts have previously estimated the company would run out of money by the middle of next year. WeWork had been counting on an IPO offering and a $6 billion loan contingent upon a successful IPO to meet its cash needs, but the plan unraveled amid questions about its future profitability. It needs new financing before the end of November, so they got 2-3 weeks to avoid running out of money. Two people familiar with the matter said. FT sources are now indicating that a potential lifeline, otherwise known as a bailout, could be imminent. The bailout of WeWork could be led by JP Morgan Chase and other Wall Street banks. If no cash infusion by late November, WeWork could enter into bankruptcy first quarter 2020 or by next summer. Global credit rating by Fitch Ratings downgraded WeWork's credit rating last week by 2 notches to triple C plus, putting SoftBank-funded office-sharing company deep into junk territory. In the absence of an IPO and associated senior debt raise, WeWork does not have sufficient funding to meet its growth plan, Fitch wrote in a note. Last month's decision to abandon the IPO deprived the company of $3 to $4 billion in funding and $6 billion in a loan package investment banks promised if it went public. Since the IPO was pulled and valuations collapsed, WeWork junk bond was last traded around 82 cents on the dollar. Massive discount to face value. Without new cash, WeWork is unsustainable. The company could start liquidating its CRE exposure as it begins the inevitable pre-bankruptcy shrinking process, if no cash infusion next month. As a result of running out of cash, Bloomberg warns WeWork's business model is severely flawed. WeWork has raised more than $12 billion to rent office space that it renovates and then leases to companies. But the strategy has left it in a precarious position. It has some $47 billion of future rent payments due. $47 billion. Thank you, Jamie Dimon. On average, it leases its buildings for 15 years, yet its tenants are committed to paying only $4 billion on average, have leases for 15 months. What will this do to the office space rental market? Destruction. Not a hiccup. Destruction, which would completely implode the mortgage-backed security markets, all those markets. This was an insane financing deal, and 10 to 1, Jamie Dimon did a bunch of structured deals that are completely ridiculous, and it's all imploding as we speak. It'll be interesting to see if Jamie takes any write-down on this situation in the third quarter, which he should have. It was impaired in August. Really interesting, but he cooks books, so we'll find out. With the equity markets window shut, and credit markets starting to crack, something that we noted on Thursday, the question is if WeWork gets a bailout next month. If not, WeWork implosion 2020 could be a spectacular mess and a massive headache for SoftBank, Vision Fund, and Wall Street banks. as the company crashes from $47 billion valuation to insolvent in 2 months. That's how a fraud happens. Remember, Enron was $90 billion to zero in a matter of months. WeWork is going from $47 billion to zero in a matter of months. It already has. Is it a record? No, I think Enron crashed faster. But there, at least Enron had some assets backing it up, some oil and gas hard assets. These guys just have lease contracts. Insane. Who knows where this is going, but it is not pretty. And behind the scenes, this could be the thing that's causing all the craziness. I don't know. It wouldn't be big enough. It's the bond market. It's the rehypothecation of the bond market. And as far as the battle between the good guys and bad guys, I think that the bad guys need a higher oil price because they bet massively on the derivatives. And I think the good guys are trying to keep the oil price down. Iranian oil tanker struck by 2 missiles near Saudi port. Many questions remain unanswered early Friday after an attack on an Iranian oil tanker in the Red Sea sent oil prices higher, but not much higher. It barely moves on a blip. I was talking to, oh, by the way, I have a really good interview with someone in the silver market that I am posting to the private road this morning for the Friday road trip. You guys will love it, but we talked about the ability to control prices in a crazy world. And we're talking about silver, and if a nuclear bomb went off over New York City, what would that do to the price of gold and silver? My take was it would do nothing. Prices don't move on stories and actual things that are happening. Prices only move when Steve Mnuchin and friends click a mouse and tell the price to move. So if Trump is telling Mnuchin, don't let the price of oil go higher, it's not going to go higher. You can blow up every oil facility on planet Earth, and they can keep the price of oil exactly where it is with the click of a mouse. That's how powerful computers and derivatives are, and that will be the downfall. So when you look at a slight tiny bump in oil prices, and then it comes down. That's what happens when you click a mouse. It's amazing what they can do. The basement of the U.S. Treasury building in Washington, D.C. That's where the electronic trading floor is, the basement of the U.S. Treasury building. If you didn't know that, you got to be on the road to Roota longer. And they work with their friends at the Fed New York and then the prime dealers. But now they're kind of fighting amongst each other because there's bad guys that are trying to get the price of oil to skyrocket. And there's good guys. I think that's what's going on, who are trying to destroy the price of oil. Now, at any time, Trump can say, hey, we just found 200 years of oil in Gull Island, Alaska. We actually found it in the 1960s. But he could say that, and voila, the price of oil goes to $5 a barrel. So, yeah, it's crazy out there. It is absolutely crazy. Hey, if you want to join the Road to Roota, I'm still giving away Veri, for at least this weekend. I'm giving away 1 Veri token with every 1-year subscription, also a silver coin. This offer pays for itself over time if Veri does well. Veri will either go to 0 or it'll be 1-to-1 with Bitcoin. That's in Clif's data. And I've talked about how that could happen. Obviously, the most likely thing is 0 because the SEC is completely bought and paid for, a criminal operation. But signs that 2 days ago that they're in negotiation settlements and needed more time, that's a great sign for Veritaseum. Veritaseum doesn't need a handout. It just needs to get the criminal regulators off their back. And if this resolves that situation, they can go back to the Jamaican Stock Exchange, finish that deal, get the VADAR up and working, the veritizing of silver and gold markets. We can get rid of the Crimex. Lots can be done if Veritaseum is free to go about its business. So keep an eye on that. It's Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com. I'll talk to you guys. Oh, we have a concert tonight. I'll be posting the Friday road trip early, probably in a couple hours. And a concert 3 o'clock Pacific time. A happy hour concert. We're not going to talk business. Well, we might talk a little business. But I'll be taking requests online. How's that? Anyway, go to roadtoroota.com, Road to Roota YouTube channel for more info, and I will post the link to that concert. We're gonna have some fun because it's gonna be a crazy weekend. And for all you new, a whole bunch of new private road members, I will be posting updates this weekend as the craziness unfolds into the holiday Monday. I'll be talking about the Dick Allgaier remote viewing of Monday being a crazy, crazy day. Really interesting stuff. And obviously, there's a billion reasons why it could be crazy. But according to Clif's data, it might drag on through November. Any way you look at it, things are a hell of a lot crazier than they were before September 11th of 2019. So keep that date in mind, and I'll talk to you guys later.